Team building is one of those things that is generally a little bit more of a long-term strategy, right? You're not going to see your income just blow up overnight when you add one person to your team. Hey friends, welcome back to the Modern Direct Seller Podcast. I am your host, Becky Lander, and today we're talking about something that has really evolved in a big way. We're talking today about team building, and it's been a hot minute since we've really spent some time talking about growing your team here on the podcast. So I think this episode is dropping at the perfect time. You're rolling into the fourth quarter. Many people are looking for extra income for the holidays, and this is your chance to take some new strategies and really apply them to your business in a way that's going to be relevant and really attract in the right kind of person to join your team. I think we've all had our highs and lows when it comes to team building. I remember, having conversations with people and people joining my team and then doing absolutely nothing. And then having other people join my team that just did a little bit. And then every once in a while you get somebody that joins your team that is a carbon copy of you and they're equally invested and as excited and really looking to build a long-term sustainable business. So that's one of those things that hasn't changed, I think, with the nature of this industry, and that it truly is a voluntary workforce. Nobody is requiring you to show up at a certain time or do a certain amount. You're going to have people that are lurking, they're hanging out, they kind of want to be in on it, they kind of are more hobbyists, they're looking for a discount. But then every once in a while, you will find one of those people that is really, really focused on building a long-term sustainable business. So know that that's a little bit of the nature of the game, and there is no magic wand or top secret formula that I'm going to share with you to only attract business builders. The reality is, it's a great way to kind of bring people in and give them a taste of what it's all about. And some people are going to get hooked on it and get excited, and other people are going to be less successful. And you can do everything possible, giving them all the tools, the encouragement, the resources, the training. But the nature of the beast is not everyone is going to be a total rock star in your team. But what you can control is how many people you're bringing into your team and the conversations you're having and how you're sharing your experience with your company, the brand that you've aligned with, to really attract in people and keep that pipeline of new team members growing on the regular. So I think one of the best pieces of advice that I got when I was looking to build a team was, you can add one a month and you're going to see a tiny bit of growth. You can add 3 people a month and you'll see a little bit more. But if you really want to skyrocket your team, you need to be adding at least 5, if not more, per month to really see some momentum in your business. And while that may feel really daunting to you right now, when you're having those conversations on the daily, it gets easier and easier to ask and ultimately easier to grow your team as well. I'm proud of the fact that in the last direct sales company I was part of in the field, I did grow the fastest growing team in the company. We grow from 0 to hundreds in a matter of months. And it was quite the ride and the journey. And it was a little crazy all at the same time. And that was a while ago. So things have changed in many ways here in this industry, especially with the digital nature of the business these days. So long gone are the days of everyone meeting in a hotel conference room and someone pitching you on the business opportunity. I sat in those too. And these days, really, you can share your story and share your business and share the opportunity and share the brand just by showing up on social media, on your website. So we're going to talk a little bit today about the things that you can do day to day, the things that maybe you're doing weekly, the things that you're doing monthly, quarterly, and as opportunities come up. So team building is one of those things that is generally a little bit more of a long-term strategy, right? You're not going to see your income just blow up overnight when you add one person to your team. This is one of those things that you have leverage in your business, and over time and as your team starts growing, you can start counting on some of that team income. But I would say you need at least 25, 50 people on your team before I would even start budgeting in the bonuses, the overrides, the new income that you're getting from your teammates until you have kind of a critical mass of people. Because again, going back to kind of where we started at this podcast, right? You're going to have some people that are just there for the discount. You're going to have some people that actually used to shop a lot and then they join your team and they do absolutely nothing. It's kind of like one of those mind-blowing things. So we want to make sure we have at least a few business builders before we start really counting on that income as part of your business finances. So let's go ahead and dive right in. If you've been around direct sales for a minute, you know the word recruiting or sponsoring or being that girl or that person is not exactly where you want to play. We really want to spend some time today talking about modern digital strategies that are actually going to work here in 2025, going into 2026 as you're looking to grow your team. So when you think about your glossary of team building words, we're going to let go of recruiting, right? That's a little cringy. We're going to let go of the word sponsoring. That one also feels a little bit weird, right? But we can really think about, sharing the business opportunity or using the word team building, but ultimately it's about connecting. So we've moved from the random Facebook message that you got that was like, hey girl, want to earn extra income, join my team, right? Into more of the current digital world of I see you, I'd love to partner with you, how can we collaborate? So it's really, as a leader, thinking about being a mentor, about building a community, about empowering others. So when we think about building teams in this digital age, I want you to leave behind maybe those preconceived ideas or notions or mindsets that, you're on the hunt. We're on the hunt to find new people, or we gotta go recruit them. But really it is attracting the right people by showing them what's possible for you and your business, which is pretty darn cool when you think about it. This is an opportunity for you to share what's working. They're joining you. Your energy, your story, your vision is really what's going to attract people in. It's not even necessarily about the company. They are joining because they like you. They want to be a part of what you are offering them. So just like we talk about in building your personal brand, it's no different when you're building your leader brand. People want to be a part of what you're doing. And the way you show up online is what attracts them into that. So let's get into how you actually do this in a given day or week. So many of you have heard me talk about the 3+3+3 formula. That's a formula that I absolutely love. I still stand by today, where every day you're connecting with 3 current customers and 3 possible future customers. These 3 people lurking, hanging out, and then 3 people that you would love to collaborate with or love to have on your team. So it's 9 conversations every day. Well, let me let you in on a little secret. Most people are doing the current customers and maybe even the future customers, but they really forget that third 3 around connecting with people they'd love to have on their team, because it feels like those conversations are a bit more daunting in nature. And here's the thing, they're not. You're just being a real, authentic, genuine human, connecting with them and having conversation. And when and if the business opportunity comes up, you're going to offer that up and invite them to learn more. It is not personal. It is really just a conversation of asking, hey, do you want to check this out? Hey, I thought of you. Hey, I thought you'd be great at this. I know how much you love this. I'd love to introduce you to what we have going on. You want to take a peek behind the business? That kind of conversation can come really fluid and natural. So on a daily basis, make sure that you are connecting with at least 3 people each day that you would love to have on your team. So when you think about a month, that's 90 conversations that you're having when it comes to sharing a little bit more about the business opportunity or talking to someone that you think would be a great fit for the business opportunity. And when you say it like that, like 90 conversations in a month, ooh, that kind of feels like a lot. But for most people, you know that not everyone's going to say yes. You also know that there's only a certain percentage that are going to say yes. So this is something else that I would start tracking if you haven't already. If you are focused on team building, I want to challenge you to keep track of how many conversations you're having, how many asks you're making, and how many yeses you're getting. So when you're tracking that kind of data, you might kind of know that, okay, for every 10 people I talk to, 2 are going to say yes. or one's gonna say yes, or four are gonna say yes, right? So once you know what your close ratio is, then you know how many conversations you need to have. So even if you're getting 1 out of 10 and you have 90 conversations throughout the month, I mean, that's 9 people right there that could potentially be joining your team. But the reality is most people aren't actually doing that in practice. So I want to challenge you to be intentional about the conversations you're having, the people you're talking to, the asks you're making, and the number of people saying yes. So if you have that goal to skyrocket your team and add at least 5 per month to your team, we've got to be making sure that we're having conversations on a daily basis. Okay, now let's get into more of what you can be doing on potentially a weekly basis. So when we think about weekly, I love thinking about weekly content planning, right? When we're showing up, we're creating long form content, we're creating short form content, we're showing up on different social channels. I would say that at least once a week, if not more, I would love for you to be sharing your story about how this business has created an impact in your life. So it could be a behind the curtain peek of how you're using your paycheck. It could be you showing up and talking about that team member that you are so proud of and the confidence that they have built. It could be you sharing an incentive that you've earned or a trip that you've earned or your why behind what you do, right? So when we're thinking about that type of content, that is what's going to attract people in. They're going to think, oh, I wonder if I could go on that trip. Oh, I wonder if I could pay for those dance classes. Oh, I wonder how she's doing it, right? So that would be my challenge to you, is to really think about the content you're creating and how often you're talking about the business, because most direct sellers are only talking about the product, right? They're just focused on the product. So when we think about the business opportunity, we want to weave that into our content strategy and be sharing it at least on a weekly basis. All right, next up, let's think about what we could be doing on a monthly basis. It is most likely that your company or your team is putting together some kind of business opportunity event, right? So it could be a Zoom call, it could be a Facebook Live, it could be an IG Live, it could be any of those things, but something that is happening at a certain time that you have the opportunity to invite people to learn more if they're curious about the business. So it can be casual, it could be low pressure, it could even just be like a Q&A type coffee chat. I loved earlier this year, I saw someone that did the top 10 questions that you have about this company and really frame it around that, right? So here's the thing. When we have those events, we need to invite people to show up to those events. And if we're having conversations on the regular, if you're talking to 3 people every day that could be potentially great for the business, this is your chance to invite them to come join you. And you can also leverage your systems for this. So maybe it's sending a simple email out or leveraging some text marketing to follow up with anyone that's shown interest. So having an event to invite people to is great for the energy and excitement. Now, in the peak of building my last direct sales business, we were not actually doing these monthly. We were doing these weekly. Literally every Tuesday night, my girl Jessica and I would pop on and we would set up a pop-up group and we would do a live video, and our energy was contagious. We would build off of each other. We would, amp each other up and say how great each person is and what they're doing and what we're excited about. And I'm telling you guys, in that season, we were getting so many people interested in the business opportunity and joining us without even using any of our products, without even seeing the products. They were excited about the community that we created, the energy that we created, the fun factor we created. We'd always give away prizes and have a great time. But then as soon as that event was over, Jessica and I both, as well as the rest of our team, were all up in people's messages. Just check, hey, did you get a chance to check it out tonight? What did you think? Does this feel like it could be a fit for you? We weren't being salesy, pressury. We were literally just like, hey, we're here for you. How can we help you get started? Are you excited about it? And that strategy, rinse, repeat every single week, is what led to creating the fastest growing team in the company. So when you're thinking about these monthly events, you've got to use these events as an opportunity to get as many people there as possible. I always say that building a team is all about timing, right? For some people, like October is not going to be their month, but in January, when they have a chance to kind of recalibrate after the holidays, they're like, okay, I got to figure things out. Or maybe for others, it is October because they know they're going into a gift giving season and finances are tight at their house. So when you think about the timing of these events, you always want to have something that you can invite people to next. And then when they show up, you can share the business, share the opportunity, share what you're all about. They get a feel for the culture and the vibe of your team. And this is their chance to say yes. You can create some urgency in there by creating some prizes or maybe even limited time offers, like you get a business builder bundle when you get started in the next 24 hours, or some kind of fun little gifts that you can give people to kind of get people out of that maybe someday not sure mode to yes, now is the time. Let's go. Let's get started. I used to lead these events for corporate teams as well. And we went through the same process. We would find leads, we'd have conversations, we would invite them, we would do a quick video overview of the business. They'd get a chance to get to know us. By the end of it, we'd have people reaching out and getting started. So every single month, make sure that you have an event on the calendar and then commit to inviting people to attend that event. Again, it is a great way for people to experience on a deeper level what you're all about. Because of course they can read the brochure, they can watch the polished video that corporate creates, but when they get to see you in your element talking about the business and why you love it and interacting with your team, that's when people are like, okay, hold on, I think I need to be a part of this. So definitely keep business opportunity events in the mix and make sure that they're happening on a regular basis and you're inviting people to join those events. Okay, so we've talked about some strategies to do daily, weekly, and monthly. Now I want to talk a little bit about some longer term systems. And this is really where the digital magic happens and some of those big shifts that we've seen in the way people are building teams right here in 2025 and beyond. So what I love about these systems is that they work for you, right? Even when you're not online, even when you're not in the DMs, even when you're not doing your business opportunity events, you can create sales funnels and strategies and pre-recorded videos and long form content that is going to share more about the business opportunity that people can access 24/7. So if you're not yet doing this, this is one of those things that's going to lead to long-term success and team growth for you. So on your website, you definitely need a Join My Team, Work With Me page. That's going to be a page that you're going to tell your story, and you're also going to capture leads of people that are interested in it. As you're sharing content on social, you're driving people to that page. Other long form content in the digital space that you can create around your business opportunity could be a blog post, a YouTube video, a podcast, things that really answer the question of what it's really like to build a business with you. I had a video over on YouTube where I really just talked about what was included in the starter kit for my last company, and it had my phone number at the end of it, like my real phone number. And I would just tell people, do you have questions? Do you want to know more? Just shoot me a text. I'm happy to chat. Well, that YouTube video was working for me 24/7. Anytime somebody was Googling, tell me more about this business or business starter kit or what's included or should I get started with this company, they were finding this video where they had a chance to hear in my own voice from me about what it was like and how our team operated and how you were going to be set up for success and what kind of training we offer and the systems that are available to you and how it all worked. And that was a great sales funnel that brought people back to me. Another one that I had was a blog post that was called Why My Husband Let Me Start This Business. And I got to tell you guys, that one got so much attention because the hook was catchy. If anyone knows my husband, you know, he's not like if you know me, I'm not an ask for permission kind of girl. But the catch for that was really from his perspective, why this made sense for our family. So it was actually a really great blog post for people to share with their reluctant husbands that were like, I don't know about this whole business model. I don't know about this thing. But that blog post really served me well over the long haul. And you can bet that I had a lead capture form where people could put their information in and I would follow up with them and invite them to join my team. Not to mention, I had so many different various web pages talking about the business, talking about the incentive trips I earned, talking about what I loved and what our team was doing and things like that, that all funneled people in to learning more about the business. We also had a really great email sequence where people joined our email list, and maybe they were joining for the product or to learn more, or I met them at a vendor event and they got added to the email list. But I had one email in there called My Story. And the My Story email had the best open rate. And it was all about kind of how I landed where I landed and why I do what I do. And I'd have people respond back to that email with questions, or they'd go to the website and they'd click to learn more, or sometimes they would just join my team without even having a conversation with me. So having systems built out and working for you, whether they're videos, blog posts, whether they're web pages, they're lead capture forms, places you can send people to learn more about the business is going to be key to your success. Because as much as we want to have one-on-one conversations 24/7, the reality is we got a life that we're building around. We don't want to be constantly on or back and forth in these messages all the time. We want to have tools, resources, systems, ways to capture leads and share more about the business. So as you're creating your long form content, as you're building out your website, keep in mind that this is a great opportunity for you to showcase the brand that you chose to align with and a little bit of your personality so people know, okay, this is somebody that I would want to lead me on my team. So when you're thinking about your digital marketing plan, definitely work that in. Okay, next up, let's talk a little bit about language and the words that we use, because the way we talk about our business matters. And I think in the world that we're living in today, there's some old school terms for direct sellers they're old school, right? We need a little bit of a glossary glow up. So here's a couple of phrases that you may want to let go and replace with something else in your vocabulary, especially in your digital marketing messages as well. So instead of saying recruit, you might want to say mentor, collaborate, partner. Instead of sponsor, maybe you want to say support. Maybe instead of upline, downline, sideline, you want to replace that with mentor or team. I think we're kind of over the party scene where, I don't want to do that business. I don't want to do Facebook parties. I would talk about how you can leverage digital marketing to share your products, how you can offer experiences for people to test, try, sample your products. I think often we talk about hostesses. Maybe we're not using the word host or hostess anymore, but we're talking about partnering with someone. I don't think people really want to hear about hustling, right? Like I know that used to be a term we used a lot, like, oh yeah, it's just a side hustle. But right now people are looking for a flexible business, an additional income stream, sharing products that you love. So rather than network marketing or MLM or direct sales, talk about social selling, social commerce, creating a community. Maybe rather than passive income, because as much as I love creating some passive income, we all know it's not truly passive. Maybe it's recurring revenue or sustainable income or an additional income stream. So I think when we're thinking about the words that we use, it's really important as we're having conversations with people interested in the business, right? There are certain words that just kind of turn people off. So think about shifting some of those words in your vocabulary. And it's not about throwing out the model. It's really just evolving the way that we're talking about it. The industry has come such a long way. We're building businesses that are rooted in community. They're being powered by digital systems. We're being connected with people through technology. So it's a little bit different than going living room to living room, popping up here, popping up there, or chasing people down in the DMs or sending cold, hey girl messages. We're really building this attraction-based marketing system that attracts really real people that are excited to step into entrepreneurship. They're looking for flexibility. They're looking for joy. They're looking for growth. I've said this so many times over, and I've noticed it even more so this year. I joined a new networking group, and so many people in that networking group started out in direct sales. They started out in network marketing. I can't tell you how many conversations I had where maybe it's not on their bio on their website today, but they've messaged me privately and said, hey, you know what? I got my start in direct sales. That's how I stepped into entrepreneurship. It is such a great business model for somebody that is a little entrepreneurial, a little interested in building their own thing and having that flexibility to get that knowledge, to get that experience, to get that know-how with an incredible support system behind them. So if in doubt that this is a pretty incredible business opportunity to offer, I'm just reminding you that you have something really good. And if you've been shy about sharing it or quiet about shouting it from the rooftops or working it into your digital marketing or your social media content strategy, this is your sign that people need it in their life. And there's a really tactful, great way to do it that's going to attract in the right people, help you grow your team, build up that recurring revenue from a really sustainable way, but also you have the opportunity to change people's life. And that's pretty awesome. And the fact that we can do that in the digital world that we're living in, especially for those people that have a harder time commuting to an office or going to do a vendor event, this is a great opportunity for them. So just a reminder that the foundation of this business is really built on relationships, right? It's built on relationships. That's what people are looking for. That has not changed, but some of the words we use or the way that we communicate or the platforms that we're creating content on to attract in the right people is where we've seen a little bit of that shift. So this is your nudge to add a couple of those things to your to-do list when it comes to growing your team, whether it's a daily conversation, those 3 weekly sharing your story, monthly getting out there and inviting people to a business opportunity event, and then of course these longer term systems and strategies that are going to really work for you in the background while you're focused on the front end of your business. So, woo, that was a lot. I had a lot to say on that one. This episode is probably a long time coming. But as you're thinking about building your team in this digital age, I really want to encourage you to put yourself out there, to go and share it with others. I think this is such a unique industry and there's so much opportunity. And yeah, things have changed, but it is still alive and thriving. Your business is doing great. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here listening to this podcast. And you have the opportunity to share that with someone else too. So if you found this episode valuable, do me a favor, leave me a comment, leave me a review. I would love to hear from you. Shoot me a message over on Instagram at Modern Direct Seller. That always lights up my day when I hear who is actually listening to the podcast. I am cheering you on each and every day as you're out there building your team, building your empire, having a lot of fun sharing your story and attracting in those right people that are gonna link arms with you and become business builders. So with that said, have a great one. Let's get out there and make it a great day. Thanks, everyone. This episode is sponsored by CintShare. CintShare is the #1 social media scheduler for direct sellers and loved by creators in any industry. It's truly your one-stop shop for all things social. Join hundreds of thousands of social sellers and entrepreneurs who turn to CintShare for free social media training and resources. Get started today with your free 30-day trial at moderndirectseller.com/CintShare.